Hey guys, my name is Confident. Welcome to the 24-minute lesson excerpt where I will be sharing with you some ideas, some methods, some strategies or concepts that you can incorporate as you prepare for your final exams, be it you're studying for your mathematics N1, your N2 or your N3. Now, if these videos are handy and you are benefiting from them, you can actually press the like button, or if you've got some ideas, you can leave some comments below. If you also like to be notified of extra videos every time we post them, you can subscribe to our channel and then you'll get some notification every time there are new videos. And also, if you are interested in some of our resources, be it textbooks and some videos, you can check this at the end of this video. We will send you some information. Now let's check this concept out. In this lesson, I'm going to discuss with you the factor theorem, and it is one of the sections I consider important in your mathematics N3. Now let us look at an example that I brought in here. It says determine the value of P. So that's what they want to find out. You to find the value of P if f of x is equal to that, and if f of x is equal to that gives a remainder of 6 when divided by that. So this is it's a factor theorem and a remainder theorem. It is important for your mathematics N3. Let me try to expand my page and see if it will fit. So what we want in this case, it says determine the value of P if f of x is that it gives a remainder of 6 when divided by that. So now it's a simple question and there are two ways you can approach it. I'm going to show you the simplest way that you could have approached it. It was 4 marks in a question paper. I think this is November 2019 paper. So for 4 marks, I think it was a bargain for you. So how do you approach such a question? So the first thing that you need to remind yourself is, what do they mean by saying it is a remainder? So if something is a remainder, in this case, they are saying if you say f of x is equal to 2x squared plus px minus 5. So it says it gives a remainder of 6, remember, when divided by 2x minus 1. So when they say you are going to divide by 2x minus 1, so you're going to say 2x minus 1, you equate that to 0 so that you can solve for x, and you will have 2x is equal to, you transpose that so that you get a 1. So you're solving for x, so that you're going to have your x in this case is equal to 1 over 2. So with this value of x, it is the one that you're going to substitute. So you're going to say f of, in this case, so 1 over 2. So you're saying f of 1 over 2, it is equal to, so where there is x, you are going to put here, we are going to put 1 over 2, so it will be 1 over 2 squared, and then here it will be 1 over 2. So that's what you are substituting where there is the value of x. So it will be, in this case, like that, as 1 over 2 squared plus p into, and again it's 1 over 2, and then it's minus 5. So this is what you are having there. But now they told you if you put f in where there is x, if you put 1 over 2, you are going to get a remainder of 6. So that is how you approach that. So f of half is equal to that, and the remainder is going to be that. So that's how you approach it. And then what you simply need to do now is to solve for x, because you have an equation here in this case, this particular equation is 2 1 over 2 squared plus p 1 over 2 minus 5 is equal to 6. So that's the equation that you're going to solve. So you take all the numbers to the other side so that you've got now p 1 over 2. You can leave it like that, as p 1 over 2 is equal to 6. Now the 5, which is negative, will become positive, and the 2 also, that will become now negative 2 into 1 over 2 squared. Now I'm not simplifying it because I can always simplify it once and for all. So it is my p 1 over 2 is equal to, you can use a calculator once so that you can simplify it. It's 6 plus 5 minus 2 into 1 over 2 squared. That's what we're having, and we're getting 21 over 2. So now the next thing that we need to do to solve for p is to divide both sides by 1 over 2, and then you divide both sides by 1 over 2, and then when you do that, you're going to then have your p is equal to, so what you're having is, with your calculator, be careful how you enter it. So the first one, as you see the cursor is on top, that there, you're going to put another fraction and you say 21 over 2, then you play down and again put a fraction and you say 1 over 2. So that's how you simplify it, and you can see that it will give you p is equal to 21. So that is the simplest way you could have approached when they're talking about remainder theorem. It is the simplest way in how you approach this kind of a problem. Sometimes you can use actually a long division method. So if I was going to be using the long division approach, how was I going to be able to simplify that? So what I'm going to do with the long division, I was going to take this 2x minus 1 like this. In this case, 2x minus 1 is divided by my f of x, which is 2x squared plus px minus 5. Now for all this approach that I'm doing here, there is a lesson that I cover in my mathematics N3 for the underdogs, where this topic is covered in detail. I will encourage you to grab hold of that lesson, and then it will simplify everything for you. You will never have a problem when it comes to these problems. So get a chance to get hold of my lesson on that, or my textbook. So now, how do you go about if it was that? So as I said, you approach it with a long division, and what you are saying now is 2x into 2x squared, which is my 2x, and then 2x times that, which is 2x squared, 2x times minus 2x, which is minus 2x. So I'm having that subtract. So if I'm subtracting, I will have 2x squared minus 2x squared, it will give me a 0. Now px minus 2x, it is px minus minus is px plus 2x. That's what I'm having there. And then when I've done that, I must take my 5 down here, which will now become minus 5. So as you can see, this can further be factorized such that I've got x here, and then it's p plus 2 minus 5. Then again, I'll say 2x into this. So if I can just use my space here, so what I'm having is my x, p plus 2. Now I'm dividing it by 2x. The x will cancel and I'll be left with that. So it is plus, in this case it's p plus 2 over 2, and then when I start multiplying this times this, I'm going to get my x. In this case it is just play up. If I multiply p plus 2 over 2 times 2x, I will still get my x, and then p plus 2, and then that times that, it will be minus p plus 2 over 2. Then we subtract again here, so that the first one will give me a 0, and then the second one, it will be minus 5. Now minus 5 minus is minus 5 plus p plus 2 over 2. So now this is then what we mean as the remainder. This is the remainder here. As I said, you need to grab hold of the lesson that I did on this. But now if my remainder is let me write it down here. If my remainder is minus 5 plus p plus 2 over 2, now they told me that the actual remainder is equal to 6. So if this is the remainder, then this must equate it to 6. Then as you see, you are solving for x. You take the 5 to the other side, so that you'll be having, in this case, p plus 2 over 2 is equal to 6 plus 5, and then you've got your p plus 2 over 2 is equal to 11, and then after that you have to multiply by 2, multiply by 2 on both sides, so that here as you see there, so we are having, in this case, it is a p plus 2 is equal to 22. Now you transpose that, so you've got your p is equal to 22 minus 2, and your p is equal to 20 in this case. Now previously our answer was 21. I think there is a place where in actual fact we're supposed to, let me just check again, where we might have made an error in our long division, because we have got our p here as 21 and it was supposed to also give us 21. So again, which means the error might have been made in our long division. Let me just have a recap again. On this one, it is px plus 2x minus 5, and then we took the x, this is p plus 2 minus 5, and then there is that minus that and that. So if you multiply that times that, and then we got that minus 5 plus px over 2, and then it's giving that. So and then we've got that 6 plus 5 is 11, multiply by that, they're supposed to be, that is a p plus 2. Let me check again on my long division. Let me check again, because as I said, let me check my final answer again here, in which I had 6 plus 5, and then it was minus 2 over 1 over 2, in this case it was squared, and then this one is correctly gave me 21 over 2, and then divided by 0.5 or divided by half, 1 over 2, just verifying again. So my answer there was 21. So in the same case here, it was supposed I see where the error is now. It does make sense. The error here, this is where the error was. This is where I made the error. In this case, I was supposed to say, let me show you here, this is where the error is here. I was supposed to say 2x, it's 2x squared over 2x, and then when you divide, you see the 2 will cancel and the x will cancel, so that there is an x here. So that is where the error is. It's supposed to be only the x in this case. So now if this is only the x here, then when you multiply, it's 2x times this, you get the 2x squared. But when you multiply x times minus 1, you are going to get a minus 1x there. So that is where the problem was all along. So it is a negative x only here. Then when you subtract now, it will be px, not minus x, is px plus x there. So even here, the 2 is not proper, it's px plus x. And then when you factorize, in this case is plus 1 there. So you've got px plus 1 minus 5. Again, where there is a 2 is px plus 1. So just correct that, and then so it will be, so which means when we're subtracting here, it is we factorize. When you subtract, it's 0, so it's minus 5, and then we've got p plus 1 here, so there is a 1 here. That is that. So, and then again we have a 1 there. So that is how it was supposed to be. So that when we were solving this part, that is where everything was becoming getting us this 2 and that 2 and that 2, and that 2 is the one that was giving us an error. So that we're supposed to have, in this case, our 1, our 1, our 1, so that we've got plus 1 there. So if 22 minus 1, and it will now give us the correct answer, and the answer there will be 21. So this is, as I said, it is a longer way of doing it. As you can see, sometimes I even made an error there, which I don't advise, but it is another alternative that you could have used. We have come to the end of our lesson. I hope you are going to look at it again and correct this part, where if you are going to prefer the long division, you are going to correct the error here, where I was saying the answer there, it is p plus 1 there. So if you can correct that, then this is going to be, as you can see, when you have divided, you get that, but your remainder is the one that you are interested in. That's why I focused on the remainder, which is minus 5 plus p plus 1 over 2. This, you must equate it to your remainder, which is 6. But which method do I advise? I advise this simpler method here, which we did as part. It is actually this method that I am advising, because it is the simplest way of actually solving or finding the remainder theorem. We have come to the end of our lesson. Thank you. I hope the video that you just watched was of benefit to you, and as I said, if you benefited from the video, you can press the like button, or you can leave us a comment below. And if you want to be notified of these videos, you can always subscribe to our channel. Now, if you want the full curriculum of this mathematics, if you're studying for mathematics N1, N2 or N3, and you want the test book as well as the videos, we have a full curriculum of the mathematics N1, N2, N3, as well as the accompanying videos. We also have videos of the previous question papers, the latest papers that were written in video form. These question papers can assist you as you prepare for your exams. We also have PDF version of the previous question papers that were written since 2014 until now. And if you want them, you can check all the information from our website, and trust me, these will become very handy to you. We sell them at a very discounted prices, and it is worth the try. Thank you.